Your phone is in your pocket right now. Your mic is inches away from your mouth. So let me ask you something. If your phone heard you say one sentence today, one private sentence, would you even know? If you whispered something at 2 a.m., would anyone else hear it? If you said I'm not okay, would it stay between you and the walls? Or would it become data? Because this is the part nobody wants to face, your phone is listening. But not the way you think. Not just for ads. Not just for Hey Siri. Not just for OK Google. In 2026, the real danger isn't that your phone hears you. The real danger is what AI can do with what it hears. Because the moment AI understands your voice, it doesn't just understand your words. It understands your emotions, your fear, your weakness, your habits. And once something understands you better than people do, it can control you. Quietly. So today we're going to answer one question: is your phone listening? And if it is, what is it listening for? Stay until the end. Because I'm going to tell you the most disturbing truth of this entire era: you won't be hacked in the future. You'll be shaped. And you'll think it was your idea. Now let's start with what everyone knows. Yes, your phone microphone technically can listen. That's not conspiracy. That's basic hardware. There's a mic. There's always power. And there are permissions. But here's the trap. Most people think the danger is this: maybe the phone listens and shows you ads. You talk about shoes. You see shoes on Instagram. You talk about Dubai. Suddenly you see Dubai flights. You think that's the scary part. It's not. That was the beginner version. Ads are just the surface layer. The real game is, AI doesn't want to sell you things. It wants to predict you. It wants to influence you. It wants to capture your attention. And attention is worth more than money. Because money is limited. But attention can be harvested forever. Now look at your daily life. You wake up. You check your phone. You feel a little anxious. You check your phone. You're bored. You check your phone. You feel lonely. You check your phone. Your phone isn't just a device. It's your emotional regulator. Your pacifier. Your therapist. Your dopamine button. So imagine the power. If your phone also knew exactly how you were feeling. Without you typing a single word. Not from text. From your voice. From your breath. From your tone. From your silence. Because AI can now detect emotion from voice patterns. Stress. Depression. Confidence. Fear. Even deception. And that changes everything. Because now the question isn't, is it listening? The question is, if it's listening, is it learning you? Now let's talk about how this actually happens in real life. Your mic doesn't have to be always recording everything. It doesn't need to be some dramatic movie scene. Most of the time, it's smaller. It's subtle. You grant permissions to apps without thinking. You install something once. You accept terms without reading. You say allow microphone access because the app won't work otherwise. And now your phone isn't just yours. It's an ecosystem of apps and trackers and background processes and notifications and features. And it only takes one weak point for your privacy to become a myth. But here's where it gets darker. Even when it's not recording, AI doesn't need full conversations. It needs patterns. It needs signals. It needs micro moments. A cough. A stressed sigh. A tired voice. A late night whisper. A fight in the background. A child crying. A name spoken once. Your habits are more valuable than your secrets. Because habits can be exploited. And in the AI era, exploitation doesn't look like someone stealing your money. It looks like someone steering your decisions. Now let me ask you something uncomfortable. Have you ever felt like your phone knows you too well? Like it knows what you want to watch before you do? Like it knows what kind of content will pull you in? You open YouTube, and suddenly you lose 40 minutes. You open Instagram, and suddenly you're angry. You open Twitter, and suddenly you feel inferior. That isn't random. That isn't coincidence. That's optimization. And it's getting stronger. Because the algorithm isn't guessing anymore. It's learning. Learning what makes you stay. Learning what makes you spiral. Learning what makes you click. learning what makes you emotional. And emotion is the hook. Because rational people don't stay online for hours. Emotional people do. So the platform doesn't want you calm. It wants you activated. Triggered. Excited. Scared. Curious. Horny. Angry. Lonely. Because those emotions keep you connected. And when your phone listens to your voice, it can detect which emotion you're in. That means it can time the content. It can time the notification. It can time the suggestion. It can push exactly what you need to keep you in the loop. And now you're not using your phone. Your phone is using you. Now here's the part that makes this truly dangerous. AI doesn't just listen for information. It listens for vulnerability. Because vulnerability is the easiest entry point into a person's mind. And most people are vulnerable at night. Late night is where people collapse. They overthink. They scroll. They text exes. They search things they would never search in daylight. They confess to chatbots. They speak softly to themselves. They breathe differently. And that's when the real harvesting happens. Not just data harvesting. Emotional harvesting. Now imagine this. If an AI knows that at 1:48 a.m. you become anxious, and at 2:05 a.m. you feel lonely, and at 2:21 a.m. you become impulsive, it doesn't just predict you. It schedules you. And once you can be scheduled, you can be controlled. This is why privacy is dying. Because privacy isn't just hiding your messages. Privacy is having a mind that isn't predictable. But AI is making humans predictable. One pattern at a time. Now let's go one level deeper. What happens when your phone doesn't just listen, but stores your voice identity? Your voice is unique. It's biometric. Like a fingerprint. Like a face. So once AI can lock onto your voice, it can do two things. It can recognize you anywhere. And it can recreate you anywhere. And that's the real nightmare. Because now, someone doesn't need your password. They need your voice. And your voice is everywhere. WhatsApp voice notes. Instagram stories. YouTube comments. Calls. Recordings. Even your old videos. In the old world, your identity was protected by secrecy. In the AI world, your identity is public. And public identity can be cloned. Which means, your voice can be weaponized. Not just for scams. For reputation destruction. For emotional manipulation. For blackmail. For framing. And when the world enters that stage, your ears won't be able to trust sound anymore. Now imagine the next phase. The one most people aren't ready for. AI doesn't need to steal your voice. It can generate a voice that sounds exactly like your mother, your father, your child, your spouse, your boss. And if you get a phone call, and the voice is crying, screaming, begging, would you verify it? Or would you obey it? That's the real reason your phone listening matters. Because the end game isn't ads. The end game is obedience. Not by force. By emotional hijack. Now think about what happens in a crisis. The moment you panic, your brain stops thinking clearly. You stop verifying. You stop questioning. You enter survival mode. And in survival mode, you can be controlled by a voice. A voice that feels real. That sounds real. That triggers you instantly. This is why AI scams are evolving so fast. They're not stealing your information. They're stealing your reaction. Now here's the most disturbing part. AI doesn't even need to listen to you. Because you already told it everything. Your likes. Your search history. Your watch history. Your voice notes. Your typing patterns. Your movement. Your sleep times. Your calendar. Your relationship status. Your mood swings. Your patterns are a confession. So when people ask, is my phone listening? Sometimes the answer is worse. It doesn't need to. It already knows. Now, let's talk about the most important shift of 2026. AI is moving from reactive to proactive. Meaning, it's not just answering you. It's guiding you. It's suggesting. It's nudging. It's shaping. It's deciding what you see next. What you think about next. What you feel next. So your phone becomes an AI companion. Without you asking for it. A companion that shows up through notifications, recommendations, feeds, autoplay, push alerts, shorts, trends, and eventually, it becomes your reality filter. Because whatever you see most, you believe most. Whatever you hear most, you trust most. And whatever you trust most, you follow. Now let's zoom out. Because this isn't just about you. It's about society. What happens when millions of people are guided by algorithms optimized for engagement? What happens to politics? What happens to elections? What happens to war? What happens to public opinion? When your phone knows your triggers and feeds you exactly the content that activates them, people don't become smarter. They become programmable. And that's the invisible war. Not missiles. Not guns. Not tanks. Just attention. And whoever owns attention owns the future. Now here's the twist. Some people will hear this and say, relax. Just turn off microphone permissions. Just use privacy settings. Just don't download shady apps. And yes, you should do that. But that's not enough. Because the real threat isn't one app listening to you. The real threat is the system learning you. The bigger picture is, even if your phone wasn't listening, the AI would still know what to feed you. Because humans are leaking emotional data all day long. Through behavior. Through routine. Through repetition. That's why this is so dangerous. Because there's no dramatic moment. No warning alarm. No instant collapse. Just slow control. One scroll at a time. One video at a time. One notification at a time. Now I'm going to give you the most important thing you can do. And it's not technical. It's psychological. Build resistance. Learn to pause. Learn to verify. Learn to slow your reaction. Because in the AI era, the biggest weakness isn't your phone. It's your speed. The faster you react, the easier you are to manipulate. The calmer you are, the harder you are to hack. So if you want the real protection in 2026, don't just secure your device. Secure your mind. Because the future is not a war for your money. It's a war for your attention. Your trust. Your reality. And if your phone is listening, it's not listening for ads. It's listening for you. The real you. The emotional you. The vulnerable you. The version of you it can control. So here's the final question. If your phone knows what you'll do, before you do, are you still free? Or are you just a predictable pattern? With a screen in your hand? Subscribe to AfterHuman. Because this era won't be explained twice. And most people won't realize what's happening. Until they can't turn it off.